Hello and welcome to the first of many videos documenting the Kerbals' struggle to eliminate air pollution. All the trees are dying, there are very few left now, and clearly the only way to prevent this is, rather than stop the rockets, to simply make them more green. And here we go. Rather than making this rocket purely from rocket engines and lots of fuel and oxidizer and everything, they have got a reusable base with parachutes and everything, so it is completely able to land and then be collected with various vehicles and transported back, ready to be loaded up for another go. And on top we've got the rocket, which should launch from around 22,000 kilometers up if all goes correctly. We've got Matwig Kerbin, captain of the expedition. If all goes to plan, hopefully we can get him back in for the second one, assuming that he doesn't give up on life from, well, you know, being up in space. It's been known that some of the Kerbals that go to space, they simply just lose their mind, and we don't want that to happen. Here we go now, approaching the point where we're going to drop the base off. Any second. And there we go. Come on. Go on, Matwig. There we go. That'll be the delay, obviously, on the radio. He's a bit deaf. Now we're going to start to get into orbit. This is just a test flight. This is the first test flight, and if it works, the only test flight, to see if it can be done. Assuming this gets into a safe high orbit of at least 70,000 all the way round, then we'll know that it's a success, and Matwig will be able to come back for a cup of tea. That's the first engine burn complete. We're already approaching 140, 150,000 by the looks of it. It should teeter off just under 200,000, I'm hoping, before we get a nice 70,000 on the periapps. Matwig here just using the last of that solid fuel before he activates the final engine once we reach the apoapsis. To get a nice round orbit. The last thing we need is to push that apoapsis out to about 400,000 or 500,000. And there we go. I'm going to commence the circularization of the orbit. Once it has been confirmed that we have a stable orbit, he will do a little bit of science and then return home for tea, and if we've got any in stock still, crumpets. Maybe scones. We'll have to see how that goes. There are obviously quite a few people in that control tower, and no doubt they will be working their way through the collection as we speak. And that looks like it. Orbit has been achieved, and that's a stable orbit. Excellent. Matwig now to do some science. And then to come back, that'll be a confirmation of the success in the first of many missions to try and save the air pollution from getting worse on planet Kerbin. The last thing we need is the last remaining trees to die, because obviously, if that happens, who else are the tree huggers going to chain themselves to? They'll have to start chaining themselves to clumps of dirt. It just won't be the same thing. Beautiful. There obviously is an antenna on this. We needed to fit an antenna, because if anything went wrong and the flight was going to crash, you know, we don't want to lose the science. You know, while the Kerbins are perfectly expendable, the science clearly is not. Just going to perform the final burn now, bring this baby back home. Make a nice landing. We're hoping to land on mountainous terrain. This particular ship has a secret function installed on it called the hump drive. Oh yes, you'll see more about that upon landing. Matwig, looking forward to it more than anyone. There we go. Let's start to bring this in. Now the hump drive only works on extreme slopes. So clearly we have to land on a mountain of some sort. And by the looks of it, we are aiming directly for one, which is looking good. For it to work, the ship has to be completely out of fuel. Obviously to make the ship lighter. Just decelerating there. Nice air effects and heat effects. It's definitely looking good. Just burn the last of that fuel off, and then the parachute can be put out. Here we go. Beautiful. Perfect mission, Matwig. Well done. We are out of scones, but there is tea left. But it's not Tetley. We're sorry. The monkey drank it all. Well, Matwig is he looks like he's gonna kill somebody. He's looking at the camera with them evil eyes and that grin. Look at him in the corner there. He's like, I'm going to kill you for drinking the tea, monkey. Well, don't do it, please. Anyway, let's land this and engage the hump drive. There we go. Beautiful landing. And oh, there we go. Look at that. One leg out. We call it a leg, but we all know what it is. And it is beautifully humping away there. There it goes. Look at that. Matwig, get out and have a closer look from a distance. That's it. You ride that thing down that hill. Get a surface sample while you're there, will you? A non-salty surface sample, if you please. Cheers for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like if you liked it, of course. Tune in for the next episode of the Kerbal Green Program.